All right, so here's the last thing, and we are not going to dive into factorial experiments because it's not something that's required to be covered in this course, and what is required is ANOVA, and we really did it with ANOVA. We did it great. We were fantastic. We were amazing. We did an amazing job with ANOVA. We really got in and we worked the material and we understood it. We understood it really well. We did a great job. And so Factorial is just more ANOVA. I felt like block, I think block was good to talk about. It took us a step further, like a little bit above and beyond. Factorial, we're not going to jump in and tear it apart. I am just going to give you a little bit of an overview of it though. And so I guess, you know, for fun to start out, we'll just go to the Oracle. They should have called this the Oracle. And we'll say, can you please provide simple overview of factorial experiment in statistics of a factorial experiment in statistics. What is that? What is that? Please provide a simple overview of a factorial experiment in statistics. What is that? Boom. Let's see what it says. Factorial experiment in statistics is a type of experimental design that allows researchers to study the effects of two or more independent variables, factors, on a response variable simultaneously. The key idea is that all possible combinations of the factors are included in the experiment, enabling the researcher to evaluate both the individual effects of each factor, called main effects, and the combined effects of factors when they interact with each other, interaction effects. Suppose you're studying the growth of plants and have two factors, type of fertilizer and amount of water. Factor A is organic and synthetic, and factor B is low and medium and high. And so again, if we go back and we look at this, right, we have our factors or treatments, AKA, and we apply those to experimental units. And we've been looking at like, you know, hey, just which diet applied to which person produces which outcome. But what if we're applying diet and exercise? Now we're looking at two factors. And if we're looking at two factors, we're looking at a factorial experiment. So here we're looking at two factors, right? We have type of fertilizer and we have amount of water. And each of these has a couple, like which one? So you could have organic low, organic medium, organic high. You could have synthetic low, synthetic medium, synthetic high, right? You could have those 6 combinations of, you know, possibilities. And so you get to see individual effects of each factor called main effects and combined effects of the factors. So that's kind of interesting and that'd be kind of cool. So in a factorial experiment, you would test every combination of these two factors, right? So there they are, I just said that. This design allows you to observe not just how fertilizer type or water amount impacts plant growth individually, but also how the combination of specific fertilizer types at certain water's level might produce different results. Factorial experiments are powerful because they reveal whether the factors have simple additive effects or if their combination leads to more complex interactions affecting the outcome. I think of the word synergy when I, you know, read all that. And that's the word I want right there. Right?
Synergy. Synergy.
The interaction or cooperation of two or more organizations or factors or substances or other agents to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their effects. So you could have synergy where you get greater than the sum of their effects, but what is the antonym of synergy? Synergy, antonym. Antonym. Isn't that how you spell antonym? There you go, like that. Synergy, dissent, disunion, non-cooperation, opposition, dissonance, discord. I'd say discord maybe. Discordance. Let's go with discordance. You know, where two things have a negative, they come together and they have a negative. Oop, I want defined. They have a negative endpoint thing together. So lack of agreement or consistency, the quality sounding harsh, jarring, because I don't know, that's not quite it either. But so anyhow, that's what a factorial experiment is. I think that was a good enough explanation. You can pause the video and you can read it here, and you can read this. Like it's just more ANOVA stuff, but now you've got more stuff, and you got different formulas, and you have a different ANOVA table, and there are the more formulas. You got triple sigmas. And more formulas. And then here's an example problem. And this example problem, let's look for the different factors. And the GMAT exam is generally taken by students from College of Business, Engineering, and Arts and Sciences. So 3 different colleges. That's, you know, students from 3 different colleges. And conduct determined preparation programs. And so here's another one. So we might have 2 preparation programs, and each student, each college can take, either preparation. So we got 6, 3 colleges, 2 preparation programs, and we'd have 6 factors, right? And just kind of like water and fertilizer, same deal here. And so here you have 3 programs and you have 3 colleges, and so you have data for people from business who took the 3-hour review, and engineering who took 3-hour review, and 1-day program from business, whatever, those 3 things. So and it looks like there's something more in there. So 2 students. So that's all the data. 2 students in each one. So here's a little bit more information. You can pause the video here and read that. And a little bit more information. You can pause the video and read that. And a little bit more information. You can pause the video and read that. Hey, I really like that cursory overview. Obviously, we did not own this material, but what we did do with Factorial Experiment is we introduced the concept. We are now aware of it. I like this introduction the best. So if you're confused by the textbook slides, which often has that effect, come back to the Oracle, to ChatGPT, and ask it. And you could read this one, and that should clarify things about Factorial Experiments. And the reason you want to know about Factorial Experiments is so that you know about them. And if you're out there in the real world and you're like, wow, we really got to look at 2 factorial experiments, or we need to really look at 2 factors or 3 factors or whatever it might be, you can come back to ChatGPT and you can say, hey, show me how to do that. Or you can come back to your textbook and you can look it up, or you can read about it online, old school way, and then you can apply that in the real world. So knowing that a tool exists, you could go learn about how to use it if you find yourself in a situation where you need to use it. But the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, that we are learning in Chapter 13, Module 13, is all about ANOVA, right? So we did, let's see, where's the introduction? 13, Introduction, Experimental Design, and Analysis of Variance, ANOVA. Okay, so it'd be nice if they just put that there, ANOVA. And then we also did analysis of variance, ANOVA again, and completely randomized design and multiple comparison procedures. So we did a whole lot of ANOVA. That was a huge chapter. It was a lot. It was a lot to wrap your head around. And this right here will help you. But look at how far you've come. And I know I'm a bit of a goofball in these videos, but after a while I get a little delirious because I've just been sitting in this room by myself doing statistics. Like, my family's out having fun today, y'all. They're out having fun. They went motorbike riding. My kids are motorbike riding, and I'm here doing statistics, so I'm going to be a little delirious. And I'm also just going to be, life is great. I was going to say I'm also going to be a little sardonic. Is that the right word? Sardonic, or let's see what sardonic means. A little bit dark, grimly mocking or cynical. I think that's kind of getting close. I'm not quite 100% there, but that's like 70%. There's a little bit of sardonicism within me. Just because I'm like, come on, really? You got to make it complicated like that? I got to poke a little bit of fun. So anyhow, but it's important. We've talked about the negativity bias before. It's important to always counterbalance that negativity bias that we're all born with as humans. It's built into us. It's baked into us. There's many illustrations of that. My favorite being the field of psychology didn't develop positive psychology, Martin Seligman, until 100 years after the field of psychology was created. For 100 years, the field of psychology only focused on the negative. It only focused on pathology. And this is the field where it's their objective to know the mind and to understand the mind. And for 100 years, they just were completely playing into the mind. Like that joke, one fish swims up to the other. Well, what do you think of the water today? And the other fish says, what's water? For 100 years, they weren't even aware that they were, they were trying to understand the mind, and they were using the mind to understand the mind, and they didn't understand that the mind was, because of the negativity bias, was only having them focus on pathology. And it was only when Martin Seligman, a psychologist, came along in the 1990s, he said, let's also focus on the positive. So it's really important in life to focus on the positive, to counterbalance the negativity bias. And so even if you feel a little sardonicism or you feel a little weary, right? You feel a little weary, you keep going, you keep doing it, you show up, you do what you need to do. So when you go to bed at night, you could count your blessings, and you could also count all the ways that you took good steps today and that you're proud of yourself, because you're doing great. And every day you take steps and every day you're positive, like you look for what's good, is going to be a day that's better than if you didn't recognize all that and you didn't do those things. So do them, because that's going to be a better day, and everybody wants a better day. Everybody wants to feel better. Let's feel better. Let's make our own lives better, and when we make our own lives better and then share that with others, we make the whole world better. Change starts with the individual. Be the change, Gandhi said. So be the change. Look for the positive. All right? Little philosophy there for you. See you in the next module, our last module. I'm so excited.